Thursday, May 18th. Lily Dad has a house show coming up next month, so they've been practicing almost every day. Dad got sick of them and told them to find somewhere else to practice. As much as Rodrick tries, he's not that good at playing.
Oh, Rodrick, please play somewhere else. I'm tired of hearing this nonsense. Mom and Dad, this is pretty good.
So Rodrick and the rest of Loaded Diaper started to pack their things up, and just as I was about to play some Twisted Wizard, Mom told Rodrick that he had to take me. She's been reading way too many mommy blogs and thinks that we'll actually get along. I mean, last week she forced Rodrick and I to go out and make tie-dye shirts. It was sort of fun until Rodrick splashed my shirt with pink dye and ruined it. Anyway, Rodrick forced me to sit in the back of the van holding all of the instruments. He was laughing with his bandmates as I was locked in, but it was probably something dumb. Rodrick kept making really sharp turns and the equipment smacked me a few times. Ah! Rodrick! We pulled up near the edge of the woods, and Rodrick had one of his friends throw me out of the van.
See you later, dumbass.
Whoa. Goodness, Rodrick is such a dear. At least it's not that cold outside. I started walking because I figured walking is more interesting than just sitting for 4 hours. Sort of eating before we left. I'm starving. Whatever. I tried hitchhiking back, but that was a bust. Nobody stopped, and one guy even threw his soda at me. Damn, Greg is having a bad day. Look at him. Look at his little tummy rumbling. He's hungry, boy. By the time I was almost into town, Rodrick pulled up to me and told me to get in. I hung back for a second, but then he flashed some mom bucks and I hopped in. He gave me 10 whole mom bucks and said to not breathe a word of this to mom. As I closed the doors, I noticed it stank in the car. Maybe playing hard makes you really smelly. I mean, Rodrick already smelled anyway. I just tried to not get killed on the way back home by his drums. On the drive home, I noticed that Rodrick's eyes were really red. I asked him about it and he said that Bill's cat was making his allergies act up. He quickly said something about taking some eye drops and Benadryl when we got home and told me to keep an eye on the equipment. As we were about to pull up into the driveway, I noticed a bag with a brownie on it. What's this? I was really hungry, so I swiped it so I could eat it before dinner. I rushed inside before Rodrick could make me carry out all of his stuff. I ran up to my room and took a better look at the brownie. He said Drew's special recipe, 100mg. I was starving, so I ate the whole thing in one bite. It tasted a bit funky, but I didn't expect a guy who dips his pizza into a can of Rowdy Riot to really be a great baker. What did 100mg even mean? It definitely weighed a lot more than that. I went to wash my hands before dinner, but Rodrick stopped me in the hallway. He asked me if he knew where his snacks went. I lied and said that I had no clue what he was talking about. It looked like he didn't believe me, but he went downstairs without saying anything to me. When I started walking downstairs, I started to feel really warm and slow. Was I starting to get sick? I did hang out with Rowley the other day and he was sick today because of the flu. Maybe that was it. As I was eating dinner, I wasn't getting full. I was still hungry even after 2 whole plates of food. Mom laughed off saying that I was getting my growth spurt. Guess I better hold off on getting you those shoes, Greg. After dinner, I wandered back up to my room and I started to feel really strange. This wasn't the flu. This was something else. My train of thought wandered and slowed down. What's going on? Everything began to feel distant and I felt fuzzy and barely there. I felt out of touch in the worst way. What the heck is happening to me? Does Mom know? Rodrick? Dad? Mom must know something. Maybe she can... Wait, I promised Rodrick. Let me ask him. I knocked on Rodrick's door. He asked me why the heck I would knock and I told him to just let me in. He must have seen how desperate I was, so he sighed and let me in. He locked the door behind me and I felt even worse than being there by myself. Before I could ask him, he asked where his edible went. I had no clue what he was talking about. An edible? What's that? He started to yell at me, but I couldn't really hear him. I was really strange to feel whatever this is. He started to yell at me, but I couldn't really hear him. I was really starting to feel whatever this was.
Greg, oh no, shoot, don't tell me.
I heard Rodrick start to freak out, but now I felt like I was in the worst warm molasses. The shadows in the room intensified and I had to close my eyes. It was all too much. Even while my eyes were closed, I still saw small shapes flit back and forth. I could hear Rodrick pace and mutter to himself. While I could hear him, it was choppy like when Dad doesn't have the radio in the car turned right. I heard him grab his keys and something else, and then he came towards me. I didn't want him to touch me, but I didn't really have much of a choice. Now that the colors had intensified and felt like I was in the third person.
Come on, Greg, quick.
Why is the grass like that?
I'm dying. Put on your seatbelt before Mom comes out. I'm dying. I'm dying.
Rodrick buckled me in and started driving. I wasn't paying attention to where he was taking me. I was just freaking out in the passenger seat next to him. Flashing triangles and shapes were filling what I could see, and my heart was beating out of my chest. I'm definitely dying right now. Was Rodrick taking me to hospital? He looked worried and peed.
Oh, come on.
He pulled in somewhere and began saying garbled stuff out of the van. When was this feeling going to end? Why won't this stop? I can feel everything like it was through an icky filter that makes everything feel disconnected.